I'd say, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say probably, yeah. Obviously, I've had good moments throughout my whole career, but I think just on a whole, physically, mentally, obviously the goals, the way I'm involved in the game, probably more than what I have been in other years. Yeah, it's all kind of come together nicely, and yeah, playing obviously for England, I always feel like I'm playing for one of the best teams. I'm going to get chances, and also with Bayern, I feel you know, we're in a really good moment, which helps me and helps me get chances. And yeah, so far this season, it's been really good.
Harry, it was fascinating to see the number of in-game kind of tactical changes that the head coach made in that Serbia match. One of which midway through the first half, where you all came over for the kind of chat, the squad, the tactical change, saw you go a lot deeper, almost like a quarterback. It felt for quite a long time. What do you make of all of that? And it feels very new. How crucial could that be for England when we actually get to the tournament?
Yeah, I think it's really important, taking moments when, whether in the World Cup it's a drinks break or someone goes down injured, to come over and try and get some more tactical information. Obviously, at that stage, the boss had kind of seen something more without the ball, the pressure. Serbia were kind of dropping the midfielder deep, and we were struggling to get man-for-man pressure on it, so we kind of altered the shape so that we could go man-for-man, and it definitely helped. It made them go longer more, and we recovered more balls. So, and then obviously for me, it was just about helping us get out of the initial build-up, kind of overloading when we was playing out, overloading their midfield by me dropping deep, and it worked really well. So, yeah, but I think those moments, especially in tournaments, are really important, because each team is going to have a different preparation, and we could have 3-4 days looking at them in one system, and they turn up in a different system, and you've got to be able to kind of adapt to that mid-game. So that's also down to players like me and some of the other leaders in the team to help make that happen and communicate that on the pitch. But ultimately, I think we're just trying to be as prepared as we can for, you know, any opposition that we come up against in the summer.
Hi, Harry.
Hi.
Your speech after the win in the overlap here in the change room seemed to carry a lot of weight with the manager about wanting to continue momentum. Does it feel different, this squad, pre-tournament, to the others that you've been involved in?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure. Different in the fact that obviously with the coach, it feels different in terms of how we work and how things are. But I mean, I always feel like the environment's been a big part of, you know, our culture and what we tried to build. Even with Gareth, that was a big identity that we had. And yeah, we had that stage, the transition, obviously, in between Gareth and Thomas, where you know, I spoke last November about the camp, and yeah, it's been a big difference. I think everyone feels ready to be part of it. They want to come and show what they can do in training, in games. They want to obviously show the boss that they deserve to be picked for that summer, and that was kind of the message after the Latvia game. You know, I know everyone. It's mid-season. It's a brutal time for playing every 3-4 days, and it's important that we still have our days to build on what we can into the summer. We only have 2 games after tomorrow, 2 games left before we'll be in pre-camp, and the squad will pretty much be announced. We probably have a handful of training sessions from now until then. So even players like Mark turning up this camp, even though he was injured, to come and sit in the meetings and sit in the tactical meetings, watch us train, and kind of be around it. I think it's really important, because we haven't got a lot of time to get all the messages across from now until the summer. And from that point of view, I think it's been fantastic.
Just to follow on from what you said there, Tuchel has made a point of saying he wants to give all of the players clarity about where they are in the squad, who they're up against. And do you think that's what's helped in this period? Everyone knows exactly what he wants from him.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, there's great competition for places in a lot of positions. I think people kind of know their positions, where they're going to be playing, kind of who their competition is, and I think it allows people to come into the camp and feel free, and okay, I just need to work hard, I need to train well, I need to impress the manager. You know, even though it's one of your teammates you're fighting for a place for, I think there's that healthy competition that pushes each other to a higher standard, and that's what it's all about. And I think the boss is really clear on when he talks to players and his messaging, and I think it'll be the same all the way up until the tournament. You know, there's going to be a big squad in the summer, and obviously there's going to be players who unfortunately don't get to play, but I think he'll make it clear on on the roles of everyone, and ultimately it's about picking the best team who's going to give us the best chance of winning the tournament.
Harry, last November there were quite a few dropouts. You addressed that by saying that you felt that sometimes the busy nature of that part of the season had been taken advantage of. How has the level of competition altered everyone's mindset a year on? And what has changed in the camp that has changed things around it 12 months on?
Well, I think being a World Cup year obviously is a big difference. Everyone wants to be a part of a World Cup. It's the biggest tournament you'll play in your professional career. So I think the motivation, knowing that that's around the corner, knowing that there's not a lot of time from now until then for the manager to see you or to see you in training. So I think naturally, there's more motivation to prove a point and prove your way into the team. Of course, there's going to be moments where there are injuries and there are people who aren't fit, but I think when you're trying to build that winning culture and that winning team, like I touched on, having players still come in and be around the players and show themselves, and that's also a part of being a teammate. And it's not always possible, but when it can be, I think it's a great message to send to everyone else. So and also I think just the boss, when you look at our team, I think the boss has made it clear there's still a lot of competition for a lot of places, and I think that excites people to work their way into the team. I think you look at someone like Elliot, who maybe a few months ago people wasn't looking at being an integral part of the team like he is now, and he's come in and took his chance with both hands, and really made a point to try and push his way into especially that starting 11. So of course there's still many games to go, but I think that just proves that being here and being a part of it can make a big difference.
Qualification has been secured. It could see this as a bit of a dead rubber, really. So what have you been doing to keep your teammates hungry? There are things to preserve.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of motivation. I think the last game of the year in an England shirt is always important to win for momentum, especially we're not going to be together now for another 4 months or so, so you don't want to go away with a feeling of defeat. Also, obviously we know we're qualified and Albania are into the playoffs, but we still haven't conceded a goal yet, which I think is a great motivation to try and go through a whole campaign, keeping, not conceding any goals would be a special achievement, so there's motivation for that. And then ultimately, I think it's always us against us almost, as an England team. You're going to be favourites for most games that you play, and it's about reaching our level. If we reach our level, we feel we can beat any team in the world, and it doesn't matter who the opposition are. We have to try and reach that level every time we step out onto the pitch, and tomorrow will be no different.
Yeah, hi Harry. You've worked with Thomas obviously before, unlike many of the players. So a year in then, what has he brought to the role? What's been his point of difference, and has he done better than maybe you even expected?
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job, to be honest. I think coming into being England manager is never easy, coming off the back of Gareth, who has been one of our most successful managers ever. So I think he's tried to stamp his own feel into training, into the meetings. It comes with a lot of enthusiasm. I think tactically we're really precise going into every game, knowing what the opposition are going to do, and if, like the other night, if they do change bits here and there, we have like a second option that we know we can go to, and he's kind of been building a lot of those kind of different ideas, I guess, leading up to next summer, and I'm sure from now until then there will still be a couple more that he'd like to add, whether we play against a 4 or play against a 5. So I think tactically he's been fantastic, and then also I think he just brings a personality, he brings an aura that represents an England manager, and I think going into a major tournament that's important as well, when maybe other teams look across or and see him standing there. I think they know that he's one of the best managers in the world, and that brings weight to it as well.
I don't know if at the team you play at Bayern Munich, you've been teased a little bit, joked about with one of your players. But which opponent do you see as the most important one for the World Cup?
Say that again,
From the teams, which team do you see as the most important opponent?
For the World Cup?
Yeah, for the World Cup. which one of your Bayern teammates?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously France are going to play a big part in next year's World Cup. Me and Michael get on really well, and we joke about what it's going to be like next summer for sure, and with Upa as well. So yeah, and also most of the German team, Germany are going to be wanting to go far in the tournament. So I think there's healthy competition and healthy banter between the guys to really see who can get their hands on obviously the World Cup next summer. But that's, I think, part and parcel of every club, and I enjoy those kind of conversations, especially with Michael.
Hi, Thomas. Hi. It's Rob over here. There's a nice bit of symmetry about this game, it feels, because obviously your first game in charge of England was Albania back in March. There aren't a lot of differences. I was looking at the squad that you selected back then. There's not an awful lot of differences to the squad you're picking now, maybe because of a few injuries and that sort of thing. But how have you changed in that time, do you think? And what have you learned since that opening game?
Well, I learned a lot about the job. I had to learn the job because it's very different from club football. I think all of us grew together, and we started with very good results in the first camp, and with solid, serious performances, 2 good wins, 2 clean sheets. I learn a lot. I learn a lot about football because my assistant coaches keep me on my toes with new information, new strategies, new ways to play, new data about physical input and output, and that is good. That is needed. That we are like on top of the game as coaches to influence our players. But yeah, it's nice. We want to win again. We face the Albanian side tomorrow, which is difficult to break down. So maybe just over the period of the qualification, we learned that they only conceded 3 goals, 2 from us and only 1 more. So it's difficult to create chances, difficult to score against them, and we need to take the next step tomorrow in our own development to have a chance to beat them.
We've just spoken to the captain, who of course is the only out-and-out striker you've got in the squad right now. I can see you looking at me as though you've got...
If you say so.
Yeah, okay, I'll come on to that. I mean, look, but now that you're trying Phil Foden as a false 9, and you said there's other players you'd like to try in that position, is it possible that you might only take 1 striker to the World Cup?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. It is possible, but I don't think that this will happen. Still a long way to go.
Go on, explain to us what your thinking is.
No, we will go with a very balanced squad. I guess I have never picked a World Cup squad. I have never picked a squad for a tournament, so this is something for in between March and May. But the general idea, I would say, is to pick a balanced squad with all kinds of characters, different characters, and different qualities. But I cannot rule it out that we go only with 1 striker, but it's very likely that we have more classic number 9s than just 1.
You were probably present at the draw. Did you think at that moment, after the draw was shown, that Albania would be second and going to the playoffs? And what kind of match do you expect tomorrow?
First of all, I thought that Albania and Serbia are both very passionate about their football teams. They're always have been traditionally very talented players who play in the biggest leagues and for big clubs. So we straight away thought that these are the 2 teams. These are the 2 teams to beat. Now we see that Albania, well deserved, got the 2nd place. Like I said, they only conceded 3 goals. It's very, very difficult to create chances and convert chances against your team. So they are well trained, they are well drilled. I think we will dominate the game. I think and I hope, but ball possession alone will not do it. So we need to control the game, but we need also be aware to control the counterattacks. Maybe even before they before they create even counter chances, we need to control them. We need to have a good counter pressing and be aware of that. And like I said, just ball possession is not enough. We need to then try to transform ball possession into chances. And if we have chances, we are normally clinical enough. We have enough quality to score. But we expect a difficult match. Albania is well deserved on the second place. And